Investment
Good
planning.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Rahul.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Siddharth. So we are left with a few slides for investment planning framework, and then and managing risk, and then we will start with our soft skills, which is communication skills. So now we will not cover any fresh topic. So I hope all of you are studying for your module 3 assessment. So module 3 assessment is would be basically on the investment principle, on the risk of various kind of investments, on choosing the investment depending on the customer's profile. So presentation we have gone through. If you can just go through the mutual fund material, you'll be able to prepare well for your module 3, or your interview preparation will also happen. So any questions? गौरव, आपको वो मिल गया है? आपको म्यूचुअल फंड वाला मटेरियल मिल गया है? गौरव, मिल गया ना? पढ़ना शुरू किया आपने?
मिल गया है।
अगर आपके कोई क्वेश्चंस हो तो आप अपने नेक्स्ट 2-3 दिन में पूछ लीजिएगा।
अभी थोड़ा सा ही पढ़ा हमने।
हाँ, तो पढ़ लीजिए। अगर कुछ नहीं समझ में आए तो आप पूछ लीजिएगा, so that you can score well in your module 3. और module 3 तो छोड़ो, but at least you can prepare well for your interview. So now there are two types of risk: systematic and non-systematic risk. Now, if you look at systematic risk, this is a risk which is to every security. It cannot be minimized. Systematic risk का आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. So, for example, the pandemic, it has affected all securities. We can't do anything about it. Whereas non-systematic risk is risk associated with one type of security, and it can be minimized by diversification. So you can't do much about systematic risk, but unsystematic risk can be reduced by diversification. So there are two scenarios. Scenario 1, need to stay close to its benchmark. As benchmark, the portfolio follows because it keeps its weighting of its constituent stock broadly in the same ratio as the benchmark. So basically it means we have seen that our indices are a calculation of the weightage average of the share price. So the fund manager also tries to maintain that ratio. So in the first scenario, the portfolio moves broadly in line with the market or its benchmark. It is referred to as systematic risk. This sort of risk cannot be diversified away. So systematic risk is a general risk to all securities. You cannot diversify it. However, unsystematic risks are risks to particular securities and can be taken care by diversification. So the portfolio manager seeks to gain small advantage over benchmark by going over or underweight in certain stock. The second scenario introduces non-systematic or specific risk into the portfolio, but it can be diversified by ensuring that the portfolio has at least 15 to 20 stock with low or negative correlation. So non-systematic risk means risk to specific securities can be minimized by diversification. Then this is what we have been talking about, optimization, because if you have minimum risk, then your returns will also move in the same direction. However, when we try to choose the securities for the customer, we try to minimize the risk at the same time. Try to generate returns for him. So portfolio optimization would mean that you are balancing the securities in such a way that you are able to make a balance between risk and return. So portfolio construction technique that obtain the best expected return from the right mix of correlation and variance. We are trying to manage both risk and return. So we'll look at mean or the expected return of the investment. The variance is the measure of risk associated with the portfolio, and that is what the optimization means. So this is what we look at: minimizing the risk for a given return, or maximizing the expected return for a given risk. And portfolio optimization is often called mean variance optimization. Now, what is diversification? Any idea? Diversification kya hai? We've seen it many times. We have also seen diversified mutual funds. What is diversification?
Ma'am, putting money in different kind of products to
Yes.
minimize risk
Diversification.
and optimize
Correct.
return.
Yes. So diversification means putting your money in different kind of asset classes. It can also mean that in the asset class, you choose different kind of securities. So for example, my portfolio is primarily equity. So rather than just having one kind of equity, I can have many kinds of equity. So that is what portfolio diversification means. So diversification also tries to reduce the risk. So a diversified portfolio that is invested in multiple instruments whose returns are uncorrelated, which have an expected simple return, which is weighted average of the individual instruments return. Volatility will be less than weighted average of individual instruments volatilities. So we are trying to diversify so that our risk can be minimized and we can try generate better returns. So risk reduction is free because expected returns are not affected. Then hedging means to protect. So don't confuse it with a hedge fund. Hedge fund, on the other hand, is a very risky proposition. But when we talk about portfolio hedging, it means we are trying to reduce the risk. So reducing risk of adverse price movement by offsetting in a related products. So main financial instruments used for hedging are future and options. So how will you classify them in what type of asset class? Future and option. What are the asset class you will classify them as?
Ma'am,
What
future and options are in derivatives.
They are in
Derivative.
derivatives. Yes. So we have seen when we are looking at derivatives, we have seen derivatives can be used by two different people. One is the person who wants to reduce his risk, and other is the person who wants to speculate. Okay, so here you can also look at hedging to reduce the risk of the portfolio. So the decision to hedge is a trade-off between the risk of adverse movement and the cost of hedge, in this case, the purchase price of the option. It is, however, difficult to achieve perfect offsetting of the risk because the use of hedging introduces or accelerates other risks such as basic risk, credit risk, and operation risk. So we have seen this in investment. You can't say that something is 100% risk-free. If it is 100% risk-free, then what would be the downside of it? If something is completely risk-free, what would be the downside?
इंटरेस्ट रेट कम रहेगा मैम, रिटर्न कम रहेगा.
Return कम होगा. So we have seen risk and return are directly proportional. So if I don't take much risk, or I don't take any risk, obviously I'll not be able to generate any kind of return. So we have to manage risk and return, and that is where our expertise come in. We try to manage. We can't take a huge amount of risk to increase the return. At the same time, we can't take no risk, because then we will not be able to generate any return. So with diversifications, risks are uncorrelated. With hedging, they have negative correlation. So for example, you bought a security here, you will sell it in the derivative market. So hedging is ensuring against market risk. So here, as I told you, he takes opposite position. So for example, the portfolio manager may buy a certain equity and realize that he is at risk of losing money if the market declines. Then this could be hedged by buying a put option. What is a put option?
Ma'am, put is selling.
Ma'am,
Yeah, put option.
we purchase the right to sell any security.
Yes, they are very good, Khushbu. So in the put option, the fund manager buys the rights to sell at a given price. So he's buying in one market and then buying a put option to sell it in the other market. In case there is a adverse price movement, he can reduce his loss by selling it in the derivative market. So the option gives the buyer the right to sell the stock at a set price, the strike price, within particular time in the future. So the investor is now protected against adverse market movements. If the market goes down, the equity price loss will offset by the profit received in exercising the option. Then this can be short selling. You know, these terms you would have heard in Scam 1992 in case you've seen it. Now, short selling means selling the securities without having them. You know, short, when we say short, I am short of something. That means I don't have it. Or I am long on something. That means I have lot. So long position would be entered by buying. Short position is by selling. So short selling means selling a security which is not owned in anticipation of its price reducing to buy it back for less than you sold it for. So in what kind of market, bear or bull, will you take a short position and long position? In what type of market you will take a long position?
Ma'am, long is buying, na?
Yes.
So when the market is bearish, that means prices are going down. Then we'll buy.
No, long is buying. So you expect that the market is going to rise. You are bearish. You're not. You are bullish. That means you're going to you are thinking that the price is going to rise. So what you do? You start buying. No, जब हमें लगता है कि कोई चीज का दाम बढ़ने वाला है, what do? We start buying, no? और जब लगता है कि दाम घटने वाला है, we start selling. Okay, so short position is for a bear. Long position is for a bull. So short is a method of reducing portfolio risk in falling market. So what happens is you sell without having the securities. And then what you do, the moment the security price goes down, you buy it at a lesser price and sell it at the earlier price. So that is how you make profit or reduce your risk. So short selling means selling a security which is not owned in anticipation of its price reducing to buy it back for less than you sold it for. So a short position benefits from a decline in the security price. Another way of managing the risk is risk transfer. So this can be done in credit risk. Institution can use credit derivatives to increase or decrease their credit exposure to a particular counterparty for a particular period of time. The same principle also applies to portfolio. A portfolio manager may choose to buy or sell protection. So for again, credit default swaps are derivative products on fixed income assets whose credit rating he believes are wrong, so about to change in his favor. So again, even we have seen that there is a credit risk. So market risk is very high in equity instruments On the other hand, credit risk is high in fixed income instrument. So the fund manager tries to minimize these risks by taking position in the derivative market. And we have seen that this is a continuous process or continuous step in financial planning, monitoring, managing, and reporting of investment. So timely and accurate monitoring, management, and reporting of investments can enhance the risk management process. Robust risk management process are key to ensuring an appropriate balance between risk and return. A dedicated investment management committee challenge the investment managers and ensure that appropriate monitoring takes place. So this is the job of the wealth manager or the investment manager to keep the customer updated on the investment and monitor and manage it. So जिस हिसाब से market price movement हो रहा है या जिस हिसाब से macro economic factors change हो रहे हैं, the fund manager or the investment manager is required to take positions as per the external environment. So benefit of monitoring, management, and reporting. So we have seen, if you don't monitor, things don't work. For constant, consistently working of any kind of plan, you need monitoring. So the benefits of monitoring are peer review with other fund manager in the same firm. Ensure that, for example, manager are abiding by house view rules and not taking unusual risk. Risk review with independent risk managers in the firm. Ensure that investment process is transparent and duly challenged. Monitoring of mandate compliance. Systems are commonly used to perform pre and post trade compliance checking, for example, ensuring that forbidden stocks are not invested in. Performance attribution reporting enable the fund manager and the investor to better understand which element within portfolio are contributing to its return and then actually rebalance his portfolio. So we've seen for overall return, you have to pay attention on asset allocation. What does asset allocation mean, Devesh? Asset allocation का क्या मतलब है? राहुल कुमार आज भी नहीं आया. Asset allocation का क्या मतलब है, देवेश? Yes, Khushbu, what does asset allocation mean?
Ma'am, investing money to different kind of assets.
Correct, correct. So choosing different assets for investment. Then based on that asset allocation, you will see stock and in case the currency rates impact. The currency rate exchange rate will impact only if you are choosing international security. So firm specific client and internal reporting requirement will determine the extent to which the result of the above monitoring and management process will be more widely shared. So this is about investment planning. This can be an extension of your career. And if you really want to go into that, maybe you need additional qualification. But, this is a very interesting field if you want to make your career into wealth management and financial planning. ठीक है, तो NISM certifications है, उसके अलावा CFP है, CFA है. अगर if you want to really get into wealth management, it's a very good career option. You have a lot of wealth management firms. You have banks who have specifically wealth management SBU. So the career opportunity is very high there. But obviously, you will have to get your concepts clear. Okay, so before I start a new topic, any questions you have on wealth management and investment planning? We have a couple of more minutes, you can discuss it, and then I can start with a new chapter, which is about your soft skills, about communication and customer service. Anyone? Siddharth, any questions?
No, ma'am.
No questions. सब कुछ समझ में आया कि कुछ नहीं समझ में आया? दो ही रीजन होते हैं नो क्वेश्चंस के, या तो सब कुछ समझ में आया या कुछ ना समझ में आए। क्यों सिद्धार्थ?
मैम आया है, समझ में आ गया।
अच्छा, गौरव, गौरव आपको थोड़ा पढ़ना पड़ेगा क्योंकि आपने बहुत सारे क्लासेस मिस किए हैं, तो आप थोड़ा पढ़ लो। मे बी नेक्स्ट वीक वी कैन टॉक अबाउट योर डाउट्स। राहुल,
यस मैम।
कुछ शक या सवाल?
नो मैम।
पढ़ रहे हो? म्यूचुअल फंड वाला जो मटेरियल भेजा है पढ़ रहे हो?
यस मैम।
अच्छा, तो सब समझ में आ रहा है?
सब नहीं आ रहा है मैम, अभी पूछेंगे बाद में आपसे।
अच्छा। खुशबू, अर्पिता?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, I have no questions till now because I have not studied that much well in past 2 days. So I'll be
Ma'am,
asking it little
Ma'am, same
later.
here. बिकॉज मेरे घर में मैम शादी है मेरी चाची की लड़की की, तो इसलिए नहीं पढ़ पाए हम ठीक से। आज उसकी हल्दी है, तभी हम क्लास अटेंड कर रहे हैं।
अच्छा, देवेश? देवेश अपना अलग बिजी है? हाँ,
मैम। नो मैम, यस मैम।
नो मैम यस मैम क्या है?
नहीं है, कहीं बिजी नहीं है।
अच्छा,
कोशिश
चलो।
मैम पूछने के।
एनीवेज, तो ओके, तो नेक्स्ट वीक पर आपका वो भी होगा ना, असेसमेंट भी होगा? नेक्स्ट वीक का
मैम ये
असेसमेंट होगा?
असेसमेंट रिटन होगा कि ऑप्शनली?
क्या चीज?
मैम जो टेस्ट होगा रिटन वाला होगा कि ऑप्शन वाला ही
नहीं,
होगा?
रिटन वाला, ऑप्शन वाला ही होगा। अभी तो वो फोर्थ होगा, वो वाला फोर्थ मॉड्यूल का है। तो अभी तो जैसे आपके मॉड्यूल 1 मॉड्यूल 2 का हुआ है वैसे ही होगा।
यस मैम, अभी 2 ही हुआ है।
हाँ, तो ये तीसरा वैसे ही होगा, और फोर्थ फिर आपका थोड़ा डिटेल्ड होगा।
ओके मैम।
चलो ठीक है, इफ यू डोंट हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस देन लेट अस स्टार्ट विद अ न्यू टॉपिक व्हिच इज कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स। नाउ मुझे लगता है जितना डोमेन हमको आना चाहिए था उतना हमने सीख लिया है, पर ओनली थिंग नाउ वी हैव टू लर्न इज हाउ टू आंसर द क्वेश्चंस, और किस तरह से जो पूछा जाए हम उसी का जवाब दें। यू नो, इंटरव्यू में, सिलेक्शन में, this is very important that you clearly understand what is being asked and reply based on that. Okay? So that is what we're trying to, we will learn in the next session as to how to be better communicators. So communication तो हम लोग हमेशा करते हैं, हमेशा से ही करते रहते हैं, you know, but are we effective communicators? That means are we able to pass on the message which we have intended to pass on? That is what is communication. So we are going to see the components of communication, कि communication कैसे कैसे होता है, and how to become better communicators, or how to be able to understand and be understood in a better way, and very very important for your interview, because that will decide whether you are selected or you are not. So let us go and look at that. So just give me a moment. I'll share the presentation with you. So in today's class, we are going to look at business communication, or how we can become better communicators. Now, before we do that, can somebody explain to me what is communication? When we say he has good communication, he has bad communication, what does communication mean? Anyone? Communication का क्या मतलब है?
Ma'am, communication is a medium
Okay, communication is a medium for what?
to sharing idea, thought, one people to another people.
Yes, correct. So communication basically comes from the word commune. That means to make things common. Okay, so communication is not about being able to say what you feel or what you have to share, but also to ensure it is understood in the same spirit. So communication is making things common. So if you have conveyed your message, it should also be understood in the similar spirit by the person who you have shared. Okay. And why will this not happen? This will not happen because of certain barriers. So if you want to be good communicator, we have to identify the barriers to communication and tries to minimize those. So कभी भी कोई भी चीज गड़बड़ होती है तो हम क्या करते हैं, देखते हैं ना क्या गड़बड़ है और उन चीज को करेक्ट करते हैं, then things happen the way we want them to happen. So that is about communication as well. So people are not able to share their thoughts, or not able to make things common because of certain barriers, and we'll here identify those barriers and also see how to minimize these barriers to be better communicators. So in this session, we're going to look at elements of personal communication, the barriers to communication, communication styles. Now, why will we want to learn communication style? How learning communication style help us? Anyone?
Ma'am, to impress to anyone. So
Yeah, so different people have different communication styles. Now, if we want to be good communicators, we have to flex our style, or we have to be flexible in our style to understand better or to communicate better. You know, so you would have seen if a toddler comes home, we try to connect with the toddler by speaking in his own language. Or when you have your grandparents, the language you use with them is very different than the language you use with your friends. So if you want to be good communicators, it is important that you understand the style of the other person and be flexible about your own style. So आपका भी एक style होगा. But if you want to be good communicators, you will realize your style and try to be flexible when you are talking to other people. So that is the reason why we'll try to understand various communication styles. Then communication is not only about speaking. Communication can be verbal. It can be non-verbal as well. So verbal is what we speak, or verbal is where we use words. So communication is not only the people cannot communicate, don't only need words to communicate, they can also communicate by non-verbal means. And especially
Ma'am.
people, yeah.
मैम जेस्चर कम्युनिकेशन भी तो होता है.
यस हाँ, वही नॉन वर्बल वही हो गया, गेस्चर्स हो गया, आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज हो गई, आपका आई कांटेक्ट हो गया. तो आपने अपने घर में देखा होगा ना, आपको पता चल जाता है कि whether your mother is angry or not, or whether your father is what your father reaction would be, even if he doesn't speak, because communication is not only about words, it can be non-verbal, जिसको हम para linguistic भी कहते हैं, which means not only language but also the way you carry yourself, the way you hold your hand, the way you sit, the way you dress up also are components of communication. Okay, so a lot of time people talk about it कि मेरी इंग्लिश अच्छी नहीं है, मुझे इंग्लिश बोलनी नहीं आती. तो इंग्लिश तो बाद में आएगी, पहले you have to communicate you better through your non-verbals. So I'm sure आप लोग ने सबने खान सर का नाम सुना है, उनके वीडियोस भी देखे हैं.
यस मैम.
यस मैम.
कैसे लगते हैं आपको
Yes,
वीडियो?
ma'am.
मैम
बढ़िया है मैम.
यस मैम.
अच्छे लगते हैं मैम.
अच्छे लगते हैं,
सिंपल वे में.
मतलब जल्दी समझ, इजीली समझ में आ जाता है.
इजीली समझ में आ जाता है, राइट? सो इज अ गुड कम्युनिकेटर. इंग्लिश आती है?
नहीं
इंग्लिश में
मैम.
बोलते हैं?
मैम
नहीं,
नो
नहीं
मैम.
हिंदी में बोलते हैं.
भोजपुरी.
नो मैम.
या
भोजपुरी.
बट ही इज स्टिल
मैम
एबल
पटना
टू.
वाली लैंग्वेज.
हाँ
भोजपुरी मैम.
पटना वाली लैंग्वेज.
हाँ, करेक्ट. तो वो एक रीजनल कनेक्ट भी है, बट स्टिल ही इज अ गुड कम्युनिकेटर. So he's a very wide example. But the thing is कि if we go for an interview, अब इंग्लिश सीखने के लिए आपको टाइम चाहिए होगा, तुरंत आपको इंग्लिश नहीं आ जाएगी. But the way we carry ourselves can decide whether we'll be selected or not. Okay, so communication will play a very important role in our selection in the interview. And when I'm talking about communication, I'm not only talking about the ability to speak English. I'm talking about the ability to make a good impression. Then communication, when we talk about communication, most of the time communication is understood as the ability to talk. But communication is more about ability to listen. You can make things common only if you listen. If you don't listen, तो आप अपनी बात बोल के चले गए, बाकी लोग को उसका क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है, you are not bothered. So communication तो हुआ नहीं ना, ये one way हुआ. तो for example, जब मित्रों होता है, तो is it good communication? Yes or no? मित्रों वाला कम्युनिकेशन गुड कम्युनिकेशन है? नहीं, नहीं है. वो ओरेशन है, वो बोलना है. The person who wants to say something says something and moves on without bothering what is the effect on people listening. So that is not communication. That is only downloading what you think. For being good communicator, you also need to have good listening skills. Your communication skills also might be written communication. So when you join or work in a professional organization, there are instances where you have to send a written communication, and you can make or break your impression by written communication. So there can be many styles of communication, and to be good communicator, we'll have to learn and perfect all of them. So a good, for example, if you look at Amitabh Bachchan in Kaun Banega Crorepati, do you think he's a good communicator there?
Definitely he is.
Yes, because he doesn't only speak, but he also listens to the consultant, to the participants. Okay? So listening skills, writing skills, and email writing. Everything is a part of communication or making things common. Communication is basically sharing the information or letting the other person know. So good communication would involve written communication, email, as well as verbal and non-verbal communication. So however, we'll try to concentrate more on your face-to-face communication, because that is what is will be judged in your interview. However, to be successful in life, to grow in your career, you also need to work on your written communication and email writing. So we'll talk about it with the focus of the communication style you have to choose, or the way you have to communicate in your interview. और मिसकम्युनिकेशन क्या होगा? कम्युनिकेशन तो हमने देख लिया, मिसकम्युनिकेशन क्या होगा? जो हम वर्ड बहुत ऑफन यूज करते हैं. व्हाट इज मिसकम्युनिकेशन?
मैम मिसकम्युनिकेशन मीन्स अगर दो पर्सन है अ, और डिफरेंट डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज के तो वहाँ मिसकम्युनिकेशन ही होगा।
नहीं, डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज से नहीं मतलब है। मिसकम्युनिकेशन जैसे हमने बोला देखा ना कि कम्युनिकेशन में सिर्फ वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन नहीं होता है ना, नॉन वर्बल भी होता है। तो जरूरी नहीं है कि अगर डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज है तो मिसकम्युनिकेशन ही होगा।
मैम
मिसकम्युनिकेशन
अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं
सिर्फ
होगी
लैंग्वेज
तो
भी बहुत होता है। क्यों आप लोग कभी अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ कभी लड़ाई होती है या कुछ होता है तो बोलते हो कि अरे नहीं नहीं कुछ नहीं, मिसकम्युनिकेशन था, है ना?
वही मैम
मिसकम्युनिकेशन इज
अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होगी तो
करेक्ट। या सो मिसकम्युनिकेशन लैंग्वेज से उसका फर्क पड़ता है बट बहुत ज्यादा नहीं, क्योंकि आज वी हैव सीन कि आपके जो वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन है that is only a small part of your total communication. We'll see it as we go. So not necessarily because of language, but there can be miscommunication because of the way you think as well. So for example, एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल फ्रॉम माई रियल लाइफ आई एम गिविंग यू। एक बार हमने किसी को खाने पे बुलाया, राइट? तो हमने तो उनको खाने पे बुलाया और हम सोच रहे थे कि वो डिनर पे आएंगे, और हमने जिनको खाने बुलाया था वो सोच रहे थे कि वो लंच पे आएंगे। तो ये मिसकम्युनिकेशन हुआ ना। वो हम लाइक वी डिड नॉट क्लैरिफाई विद ईच
मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो
अदर।
गई मैम,
हाँ,
मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गई।
वही तो मिसकम्युनिकेशन हुआ ना। क्यों मिसकम्युनिकेशन हुआ? क्योंकि प्रॉब्ली वी डिड नॉट कम्युनिकेट वेल कि व्हाट which meal we are calling them for, right? And same with them, they do not understand which meal they are calling. So हम लोग तो दिमाग में रहता है कि जब गेस्ट आते हैं तो डिनर के लिए आते हैं, उनको लगा कि पूरे दिन छुट्टी है आज, तो probably lunch would be a better meal. So again miscommunication. If we had been clear कि okay we will wait for you at 7 o'clock in the evening, इस टाइप का miscommunication नहीं होता. The miscommunication is not able to convey your information clearly. Communication is the act of transferring information from one place to another. Miscommunication is not being able to transfer the right kind of information. So communication is not just a physical process. और फिजिकल प्रोसेस क्या है कि आपका कान है, दूसरे का मुंह है, वो बोल रहा है, आपके कान में वो आवाज पड़ रही है, but that is not what communication is. Communication as a process also involves some thinking and some response. And your communication is complete or your communication is correct if the response is the same as of what you wanted to convey. So these are the elements of communication: communicators, the message, and the feedback. The feedback is also important. Until you get the right feedback, your communication is not correct. तो मैंने तो बोल दिया जो मुझे बोलना था, पर जिसको मैंने बोला था उसको क्या समझ में आया? I will know only if I get the correct feedback. So communication is about message, but it's also about feedback. Also, communication would need a channel. For example, today we are using video conferencing as a channel. When we were having offline classes, it was face to face. So there's a channel or a medium of communication. Then the context of communication. So if I talk about investment, risks are very different. In context of investment, the risks are very different. But in today's time, if I go out of my house and people tell me there's a lot of risk, the risk is different. So when we are talking about risk in investment scenario, the context is different. We are talking about maybe market risk or credit risk or liquidity risk. But when today, when I'm going out of my house and people tell me there is a risk, so there is risk of contracting the infection. There's also risk of meeting an accident. There's a risk of the policeman stopping me, right? So the context or the meaning of your communication changes with the context. So sometimes, for example, if you ask me some offhand questions, I might not be able to understand because of the context. So then I ask you to tell me more about it or give me the context so that I can understand. Oh, that reminds me, Arpita, you have not still sent me that article where you were having some confusion.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I read that in briefing and suddenly that disappeared. I scrolled so much, but I couldn't find that.
Yeah, so the context is also important for putting the communication in the right spirit. And noise can affect your communication. So when, for example, when we have classes like this, I often tell you to mute your mind because noise disrupts the communication. So maybe what I'm trying to tell might not pass on to you. So I try to, tell you to mute your mind. So noise also has a role to play in communication. Now, one-way communication obviously is not a good way to communicate because the feedback is missing. So one-way communication is good for maybe passing information or giving some instructions. So for example, in army, there is usually one-way process because you're not required to think. And in one-way communication, the feedback is missing. However, good communicators always look at a two-way process. Two-way process, it's an interactive process where everybody gets to speak. And our communication becomes effective if it is a two-way communication. So for example, you would have seen this difference when we were in the offline mode. The interaction in the class made the class more interesting and probably better learning because it was a two-way communication. And here it is usually a one-way communication, though I try to involve all of you, but it might not be possible all the time. So probably then the communication is effective. Okay? So a good communication is a two-way communication because it also has feedback. This helps you to know whether the other person has understood it in the same spirit as you wanted to tell. So again, वही वाला मैं अपना example जो मैंने आपको दिया था, तो हमने बोल दिया खाने पे आना है. If we had a feedback asking कि कितने बजे तक आओगे या कब आओगे, probably we would have avoided that situation. So good communication is a two-way communication because it involves feedback. You know what the other person has understood. So, especially जब अगर आप अपने छोटे भाई बहनों को instructions देते होंगे, तो a lot of time you will ask them to repeat what you said. क्यों खुशबू?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So your process becomes more effective. So one of the way of good communication is seeking a feedback from the receiver so that you also understand his understanding or his processing of the information. So a two-way process or an interactive process can help you in better communication. So we've seen that communication does not only mean verbal communication. The message can be conveyed by non-verbals, by signs. आप सड़क पे जब चलते हैं तो आपको कोई बताता नहीं कि आगे हॉस्पिटल है या आगे स्कूल है. You have signals, you have signs. So communication. Okay, and message not only means a speech used or information conveyed, it also means the tone of voice. So we also, for being good communicator, we also need to look at the tone. Tone is the the emotion in our voice. So the words are important. Also, the non-verbals like your body language, your gestures, your tone is also important for good communication. So this we've been talking for good communication. You need, yes, you need good language, but you also need to take care of your the non-verbals, which is the facial expression, the tone of voice, the gestures, and the body language. It is not only what you say, but also how you say it, which affects your affects your communication. So your body language. So this I've told you, I think in the class also, that when you're going for an interview, do not cross your hands, because it gives a negative impression of you being closed. So if you remember, I don't know how many of you will remember, because the voice was also not clear. We had seen a video on body language in the start of our course. We had seen a video on the effect of your body language on your communication. Do you
Yes,
remember?
ma'am.
Yeah? So we have seen there are some positive body languages which not only convey good impression about you, but also in some way change the way you think. So it is correlated both ways. So if you're thinking something, it will be affected on your body language. Also, if your body language is conveying, you have controlled your body language to convey something, you will start thinking that as well. So these are some negative body languages. So for example, if you're, so this is what you need to keep in mind if you're going for an interview. Never cross your hands and sit. Don't cross your hands, because it shows a closed mind. Even crossing your leg, not open to communicating, closed hand, insecure, not making proper eye contact, means hiding something. Okay? You will always lean a little forward if you are interested. If you tilt your head, that means the other person is impatient, or he thinks what you're making is what you're saying does not make sense. So consciously we will have to be aware of our body language, the way we carry ourselves, the way we use our hands to make or break impression in the interview. So remember this, never cross your hands in the interview. Make polite eye contact with the interviewer at all the time. This will tell the interviewer that he can trust you, or you're speaking the truth. Lean a little forward. That will give an impression that you are interested, or you're listening carefully to what the interviewer is telling you or asking you. So the way we sit, the way we walk, the way we enter the room, all of that has an impression on the interviewer. And because we want to get selected, because we want to get a job, it is important to pay attention. तो बहुत छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं, पर ये चीजें अगर आप ध्यान में रखेंगे और करेंगे, your chances of selection improve. So the way you open the door will make an impression on the interviewer. The way you walk up to the chair will make an impression. When you sit, it will also make an impression. When the interviewer is asking you some questions, the way you react will also make an impression. So basically, for getting a job, it is all about impression management. Okay, so we have to manage our communication, both verbal and non-verbal, to make a good impression to the customer on the interviewer. Now, noise is anything that distorts the message so that what is received is different from what is intended by the speaker, right? तो बाहर बैंड बज रहा है या गाना बज रहा है या पीछे मसाला कूटा जा रहा है, all that is noise. We understand that. Is there any other kind of noise which holds us from listening well or from communicating well? और कोई noise है जो हमको prevent करती है from understanding the other customer well? So external noise तो हम सबको पता है कि बैंड बज रहा है, शोर हो रहा है, we all know that. But another kind of noise which can hinder our communication is the internal noise. क्या होता है internal noise? Do we understand internal noises?
Ma'am, I think internal noise would be like when so many things are rolling around, rolling inside us, like it could be fear, it could be hesitation as well.
Correct.
Like
Fear,
it could
hesitation.
be feeling of inferiority or low confidence.
Correct.
That
And even anger.
yeah,
When we are
anger,
angry, yeah.
impatience,
Yeah. So it is very easy to cut down the external noises. If you visit a bank, you will see that they have special glass cubicle for the HNI clients or the wealth managers. That is to cut down on the external noises. But internal noises, we will have to cut on our own. Internal noises also distort the message. So, there is a very famous saying in Hindi, कहते हैं खेत की, सुनते हैं खलियान की. It is said in a reference to farmers. So, if you talk to them about their crop, they will think that their crop has been destroyed or has gone vain, because that is their experience. So, our listening also depends on our internal noises. Okay, so internal noises, little difficult to minimize, but if you want to listen well, you have to minimize your internal noise. So you can look at it. अगर आपको कोई drawing करनी है, so you would want to have a blank sheet rather than something drawn on it. अगर उसके ऊपर कुछ पहले से लिखा होगा, you might not be able to draw very well on that sheet, right? So for understanding well, or for listening well, we have to minimize the external noise, which is easier to be done, and also the internal noise. Internal noise are our opinions, our emotions, our thought process are the internal noise. Okay, so we for being good communicators, we try to minimize the internal and external noise. एंड अगेन ऐसा नहीं कि मैंने बोल दिया कि भैया इंटरनल नॉइज मिनिमाइज करना है और कल से इंटरनल नॉइज मिनिमाइज हो जाएगा. इंटरनल नॉइज मिनिमाइज करने के लिए इट विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस. सो इवन द सेशंस वी हैव, these sessions, some of you listen well, others don't. There can be many reasons. There can be external noises, there might be internal noises as well. तो दिन में चल रहा है कि यार क्या होगा, अब तो मेरा कोर्स भी खत्म होने वाला है, मुझे प्लेसमेंट मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, कब मिलेगा, कितनी सैलरी मिलेगी. सो दीज आर योर इंटरनल नॉइजेस. अगर वो इंटरनल नॉइजेस हाई रहेंगी, again you will not be able to listen well. And as I've been telling you, listening is not only about talking, it is about communication is not only about talking but also about listening. So for good communicators, we have to be good listeners, and we can become good listeners by minimizing both the external and internal noises. Also, certain other things which are can be barriers to communication, complicated jargon. So if very complicated words are used, or things which I don't understand are used. Body language has a very important role to play, because we understand more by the body language than what is being said verbally. The attention, disinterest, cultural differences can be considered noise. So these are all external noise. So again, an incident from my life. So I'll have a lot of instances what to do. You guys are young, I'm very old, and I have lived my life and I have experiences to share. So when I started my first job, it was in Tata Share Registry in Bombay, and as you know, Bombay is a city of opportunities. People from all over the country come there to try their luck. So I was working there, and in that time, getting a job for everyone was not that easy. So we used to have temporary staff. So I was a permanent staff, and then we used to get temporary staff, which, if they were good enough, would be absorbed in the company or they will be asked to go. So I was given a temporary staff who had come from Kerala. So my office used to be from 8:45 to 5, and 5 o'clock we used to pack, because traveling also is a big deal in Bombay. So we used to start packing at 5 o'clock and then leave by 6. So I had given some work to this person, my temporary staff who had come from Kerala. So at about 4:30, I went to him and said, I wanted to know what's the status of the work I had given him in the morning. So I went to him and said, "Kitna bacha hai?" So he looked at me in amazement and said, "Bacha nahi hai, shaadi nahi kiya." So that is the cultural difference. What I wanted to ask is how much is remaining, and what he said was his understanding of what I asked. Okay, so these kind of noises can also be impediments in good communication. Okay, so we have to take care of that. So next time I knew probably Hindi is not the language I need to speak with this person, because of the cultural difference. His understanding of Hindi is very different than my understanding of Hindi. Okay, so these can be different kind of noises, and that is what I keep on trying to check. When I ask you questions, I want to check whether you have understood clearly what I'm trying to say, or it has not reached you because of inattention or disinterest, or questions going on in your mind about your placement. And feedback is a good way of knowing what the other person has understood. So feedback consists of messages the receiver returns, which allow the sender to know how accurately the message has been received. तो रिसीवर ने तो बता दिया अपना काम, but वो sender ने तो बता दिया, sender has sent the message, but has the receiver received it in the same spirit is what good communication is about. So for example, आप अपने किसी फ्रेंड को ब्लूटूथ से कोई फाइल भेज रहे हैं, तो क्या करते हैं, आप पूछते हैं ना कि फाइल आई कि नहीं आई, कितनी आई, अच्छा छोटी फाइल पहले भेज के देखते हैं, फिर देखते हैं whether you are receiving the file or not. So until the receiver receives it, the process of communication is not complete. Okay, so good communication would mean that the sender has sent his information and the receiver has received it in the same context. And feedback also allows the sender to regulate, adapt, or repeat the message in order to improve communication. So that is what I try to do again, keep on asking you questions to see whether you have understood things in the same context as I was trying to tell. So that tells me whether my communication is correct or not. So my communication is also not good enough if you have not received the message. So मैंने तो सब पढ़ा दिया, सब पूरी आपको महाभारत सुना दी, but आपको कुछ समझ नहीं आया, that means I'm not a good communicator. So I might be a very good orator, I can speak well, but अगर मेरी बात आपको समझ में नहीं आए, that means communication has not happened. So the thing I want you to understand here is that communication is not only able to tell what you want to say, it is also about to confirm that the other person has understood in the same manner. That is what when we say is good communication. So communication is not only about sending the message, it is also about receiving the message and feedback. So until the communicator, if you don't get a confirmation on the feedback, you don't know how effective your communication is. So आपने देखा होगा ऐसे कई लोग होते हैं ना जो बोलते हैं अच्छा बताओ मैंने क्या बोला. So what is that they're trying to see? They're trying to say if the message has been understood in the same way as it was intended. So context, we've so said context is also very important. So all communication is influenced by context, situational or social, because it gives a bigger picture. You might not be able to understand it only by what is said until you put it in context. So the example I gave you about risk in different situation and different social scenario would mean different. So you walk into probably a small village of Bihar, the kind of risk associated would be different. So the communication is affected by the situation and the social environment in which it takes place. Channel is the medium. And in today's time, the number of channels have increased. So earlier, probably if you look at before the invention of telephone, the only way of communication was face to face. And probably then written communication came in where people started sending communication started to be written communication when people used to send letters to everyone. Then we've seen telephonic communication, and now it is much more advanced. So we even have a Zoom call or web chatting or WhatsApp. Just so channel, the physical means by which message is transferred from one person to another. So to just a quick recap, communication can be one-way process when so these kind of sessions we have this time is like more like one-way process. I'm the only person speaking. So that is one kind of communication. Another type of communication can be a two-way process, which is an interactive process where the sender and the receiver participate in equal measures. Then the message is conveyed not only through what you speak, but also non-verbals, such as your facial expression, your tone of voice, your gestures, and body language. So the interaction which we had, the mock interview which we had, I also gave you feedback about your body language and your facial expression, because these are also components of communication. Noise is anything which can distort the message. It can be external noise. It can be also an internal noise. It can also be complicated jargon, inappropriate body language, inattention, disinterest, and cultural difference. You know that your communication has received the receiver only with feedback. So feedback is the message the receiver returns, allows sender to adapt, regulate, or repeat. This can be direct verbal statement, facial expression, or change in posture. So I also find this a little challenging. So when we were in a classroom one-to-one, I could see it from your face. I could read your facial expression, whether you have understood or not. So this is one thing which I can't do because of the present scenario. So feedback is a very important way of knowing whether the receiver has understood the message in the same context. So, and then that will decide what is that needs to be done. So now we have to only depend on verbal statements. I can't see your facial expression or change in postures. Also, context is important. situational context, social context. Also the emotional climate and participants' expectation of the interaction. Then channel can be anything. It can be face-to-face, it can be telephonic, it can be conferencing, it can be written. So channel is the medium you use for communication. Now communication तो हमने समझ लिया. Communication is sending message from one person to another. Now what is effective communication? Or what do you understand by effective? What is effective? Anyone?
Ma'am,
Effective क्या कहना है?
effective would be like to leave an impression, like other than conveying our message, to leave an
No,
yeah,
no,
it could be more about influencing.
no. Effect. What does effective mean? We say effective person, or the process is effective. What does effective mean?
Ma'am, effect means it changes to anyone mind set.
No.
Ma'am,
Effective means
effective, like to leave
the
an
receiver is able to achieve what he has set out to be. So effective, as we see, is a person who is able to achieve his objective, right? So the objective of communication is sharing a message. Not only sharing a message, sharing in the sharing the message to be understood by the receiver in the same context. That is the objective of the communication. In case the sender is able to do that, that is an effective communication. Otherwise, it is not. So effective communication means that the receiver has understood what the sender wanted to say. So for example, in banks, and you get a lot of circulars, but the circulars are just sent to all the employees. Now they don't understand what change has been there. No? So they have received if you look at, the sender has sent the communication, but it is not an effective communication because the receiver has not understood the circular. So then, the branch manager has to intervene. He has to call every staff and then explain the main points about that circular. Then it becomes a effective communication. It becomes effective communication. So effective communication is basically to ensure that the receiver has understood the message in the same context as you had sent. So see, effective communication involves two people, the sender and the receiver. So effective communication is not only about the sender. So sender, a person or thing or event which provides verbal or non-verbal clue. Receiver, a person who interprets a message. Then message is a set of verbal or non-verbal clues sent by a source. And symbols, something that represents something else. It can be verbal or non-verbal. So communication, as you see, does not only involve the sender, it also has the receiver. And effective communication is when the sender is successfully able to pass the message to the receiver. And it doesn't, and the message necessarily should not be verbal. It can be verbal or non-verbal. And a lot of time looking at your parents' face, you know what they're trying to say, even if they don't use any words, you know exactly what they want to say. So message can be verbal or non-verbal. So this is the communication process. So feedback is a very important aspect of effective communication. Now, effective communication, again, I'll say, is a communication which is understood in the same spirit or the same way as it was supposed to be. That is an effective communication. So for example, there is change in KYC, and as a branch manager, I tell you that from now on, we have to follow the new KYC only. Is an effective communication if you understood it like this. If you think that this is additional KYC guidelines, then that is not an effective communication. So effective communication would mean the receiver is able to achieve what he had set out to achieve. Right? So communication as a process has many components. So it has the source or the sender, and it has the receiver. However, it is not only direct. So there is encoding. So when the receiver, the sender is sending the message, he will encode it in some way. He'll use some channel to send it to the receiver, and the receiver will decode it. You know, कई बार बोलते हैं ना, अच्छा तुमने ये कहा था, अरे मैंने तो ये समझा. You know, and a lot of time we do this. I don't know how many of you have done it, but आपके cousins में या friends में कोई especially girls ये काम बहुत करती है ना, कोई ट language और या थ language, like हर word के आगे थ लगा के आप बोलते हैं. So you encode it like that, and then you send it to the receiver, and he decodes. It's not possible for everyone to understand. So when you don't want to share the information with everyone, you encode and decode. करते हैं ये कि नहीं किया है कभी?
Yes,
जरूर किया होगा,
yes मैम किया
है ना?
मैम. मेरी
तो वो-
फ्रेंड को कोई मैसेज करना होता था तो वो बोल देती थी कि मैं ऐसे कोड करके इसको ये बोलूंगी, तुम समझ जाना.
हाँ. So communication involves both. Yeah.
Coding, decoding.
Yes. Coding, decoding.
Yes, ma'am.
किया है सिद्धार्थ कभी?
हाँ मैम, कभी कभी होता है.
तो you know, normal communication में भी encoding और decoding है. और अगर ये you know, decoding सही से नहीं होगा, तो obviously communication गलत होगा. So communication is a complex process. It is not just a physical process. Physical क्या है कि एक का you know कान involved है, दूसरी की tongue involved है, वो मुंह involved है और कान involved है. ऐसा नहीं होता ना. It also involves your brain. So effective communication will also involve your brain. Okay. Now barriers क्या होते हैं? What are barriers? क्या होते हैं barriers?
मैम रुकावट.
रुकावट. हाँ. तो effective communication में क्या क्या रुकावटें आ सकती हैं, या क्यों effective communication नहीं हो पाता है? What can be barriers to good communication? बताओ. क्यों आपको लगता है लैंग्वेज बैरियर? तो आपने पहले बताया कि लैंग्वेज अगर अलग है तो यस, लैंग्वेज कैन बी अ बैरियर. व्हाट एल्स कैन बी अ बैरियर? कुछ हमने देखे थे अभी.
मैम जो मैसेज हम पास आउट करते हैं वो यदि क्लियर नहीं होता है तो भी.
ओके ओके.
Ma'am, if it is not way to understand anyone how to.
So why people will not be able to understand? What are the reasons? वही तो हम सोच रहे हैं, और वही तो क्वेश्चन है कि why people are not able to understand. What can be the reason?
Because sender has not some ability.
Sender has not.
Ability to send.
Okay. Is it only on the ability of the sender?
No.
It involves both sender and receiver. So there can be problem at the sender's end, there can be problem at the receiver's end. And for example, I'm not able to make out what you are saying. No, मेरे भी कान ठीक है, आप भी बोल रहे हो, पर नहीं सुनाई दे रहा है. क्या प्रॉब्लम है? चैनल का प्रॉब्लम है. चैनल में डिस्टर्बेंस आ रहा है. So channel can also be a problem.
communication platform.
Yeah. So internal noises, external noises, the use of channel,
Ma'am, when
even
sender is
our,
dumb,
I'm sorry, when
sender is dumb.
sender is dumb.
Yes, ma'am.
not necessarily not necessarily the sender is dumb. अब मैं इतने सवाल आप लोग से पूछती हूँ you know इस पे ऊपर investment के ऊपर a lot of time people are not able to answer. So is the sender
Ma'am,
dumb?
No, ma'am, because receiver, ma'am, here the problem I have receiver.
The problem can be at both end. It can be at the end of the sender, it can be at the end of receiver also. ठीक है, दोनों तरफ प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है.
मैम यहाँ पे रिसीवर ठीक से वर्क नहीं करते तो इसलिए वो आंसर नहीं कर पाते.
नहीं जरूरी नहीं है. इट कैन बी सम टाइम की हो सकता है मैंने जागन यूज कर ली हो तो आपको नहीं समझ में आ रही हो, ऐसा भी हो सकता है. सो इट कैन बी बोथ वेज. व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से कि गुड कम्युनिकेशन में दोनों रिसीवर और सेंडर का पार्ट होता है. एनी प्रॉब्लम एट द सेंडर्स एंड और एनी प्रॉब्लम एट द रिसीवर्स एंड कैन लीड टू miscommunication. Okay. So there can be many barriers. So we've seen emotions can be barriers. जब हम बहुत खुश होते हैं, जब हम बहुत दुखी होते हैं, हम बहुत गुस्सा होते हैं, तब भी हमको सुनाई नहीं देता. So you know, when people are under stress, they are more apt to inject communication barriers into their conversation. So your communication can be verbal, paraverbal and non-verbal. तो हमें you know body language से भी गलत कम्युनिकेशन मिल सकता है. तो जैसे अगर हम लोग कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में होते हैं तो धीरे धीरे हमारा कम्युनिकेशन खराब हो जाता है. एंड वी use 90% of communication barriers at the time of conflict situation. So these are some communication barriers. Verbal can be attacking, criticizing, blaming, shaming. These are all non-verbal communications. And this happens because of, again, internal noises. So example, have you followed through with the process we asked you to? So अगर कोई बहुत investigate करता है, we might not have the you know right answer. Have you taken grandma to the doctor for a medical checkup? So assumption is that you would have not. Then showing power, order, threatening, commanding, directing. So teacher, if you don't voluntarily agree, we can take you to due process. Go ahead and file a complaint if you want to. When people threaten, the communication is affected. Or the parents also often use threatening things. I'm going to write a letter of complaint to the principal if you don't stop humiliating my son in front of his classmate. I know my rights. So your communication barriers can be, you know, verbal or non-verbal. So we know people are not listening to us when people are doodling or excessive fidgeting. So आपके parents, you know, कई बार आपसे बात करते हैं और आप जो है, you know, कुछ लिखते रहते हैं. So they know that they often tell, you know, look at me and talk, because they know you are not paying attention. So not paying attention or doodling or excessive fidgeting can be barrier to communication. Staring at people or avoiding eye contact can be barrier to communication, because if you don't make eye contact, the other person does not trust you, and if he doesn't trust you, he will not communicate well. Then slouching, hunching, or poor personal care can be a barrier to communication. So if you go and sit in the chair or in front of the interviewer, slouching, that can be because of low confidence or because of indifference. Again, it will give a poor impression to the interviewer. So your body language also affect your communication. Flashing or rolling eyes, quick or slow movement, arm cross, leg cross. This example I gave to you. This means close body language. That means you're not able, you are not ready to listen. And gestures made with aspiration. So gusse ke gestures. You know, all these are communication barriers. Just give me a moment. Abhishek, a call. Just give me a moment. Okay, sorry for that. Official call था इसलिए मैंने ले लिया. Abhishek was calling up, otherwise I would have not taken. Anyways, so we have seen your non-verbals can be also your barriers in communication. So बाकी तो ठीक है, धीरे धीरे हम communication अच्छे कम्युनिकेटर बन जाएंगे, बट अभी के लिए हमें अपने इंटरव्यू के लिए we have to understand good communication. So avoid all these things. When you are talking with your interviewer, make a polite eye contact. Don't slouch or hunch. Pay attention. Obviously, you might not be able to Google or all that stuff, but pay attention to what he's saying. Don't cross your legs, arms, because it shows a closed body language. And take care of your gestures. So yes, जो हम पहले डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, कल्चरल बैरियर्स भी हो सकते हैं, लैंग्वेज बैरियर्स भी हो सकते हैं, परपीचुअल बैरियर्स भी हो सकते हैं, और impact of culture भी हो सकते हैं. So these are certain barriers, but if we have to become good communicators, we have to मिनिमाइज दोस बैरियर। कोई किसी भी काम को करने का, किसी भी काम को अच्छी तरह से करने का यही तरीका है कि यू आइडेंटिफाई द बैरियर्स एंड try to minimize them. So for example, कई लोग बोलते हैं ना मुझे इंग्लिश नहीं बोलनी आती। अगर आपको आगे बढ़ना है और you have to grow up the corporate ladder, you will have to overcome that barrier. So now let us understand communication style. अब communication style समझना इससे जरूरी है क्यों, जब हम communication style समझेंगे तभी हम दूसरे को अच्छी तरह से समझा पाएंगे। नो सो फॉर एग्जांपल खुशबू और अर्पिता जैसे दे आर ट्यूटर चिल्ड्रन, है ना। आप बच्चों को पढ़ाते हो ना, तो आप बच्चों को पढ़ाने से पहले उसका लेवल समझते हो और उस हिसाब से फिर उसको समझाते हो। आपके पास मान लो क्लास 4 का बच्चा आया है पर उसको प्लस माइनस भी नहीं आता, तो आप क्या करोगे? आपको पहले उसको प्लस माइनस सिखाना पड़ेगा तभी आगे बढ़ सकते हो। सो फॉर अ गुड कम्युनिकेटर इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड the communication style of the other person and then you will be able to communicate better. कभी कभी आपके पेरेंट्स भी आपसे गुस्सा में कहते होंगे ना, इसको तो यही भाषा समझ में आती है। तो जिसको जो भाषा समझ में आती है उसी भाषा में हमको बोलना है। So I'm not talking about the language used, what I'm talking about the way we speak. Okay, so I think we'll take a break here and then join back at 11:45. Okay, and we'll continue understanding communication styles.